Hi, it's your Psycho Buddy. If you've never been suicidal, one thing I envy you. Congratulations. There's something about it that you might not assume to be the case, and that is that committing suicide, and it's similarly true with non fatal forms of self harm like cutting, the idea grows in your mind, puts down roots, and then it pulls at you. So there are different levels of suicidality. There's the acute level that, like, I have to kill myself now. And most successful suicides are not premeditated. The urge comes over you, and if there is a lethal means available, then life is entirely intolerable and you use the means. That's the intensity of suicidality that the suicidal solutions videos on here are for that moment when you're completely overtaken by the tractor beam of killing yourself. If you step down, there's a background kind of nihilism or a background level of suicidality, and everybody can have a different one. For some people, really hating being alive and really wanting to find any way out is just their modus operandi. That's just how they always look at life. So when a person like that tells you they're really suicidal, it doesn't mean you need to freak out, because they know how to deal with it, or else they wouldn't be sitting with you. You always want to take someone very seriously when they talk about suicide, but responding with fear for them. How do I say this? When I tell someone that I am suicidal and they get afraid, I just know that I can't tell them anymore because it'll scare them. So fear is an aversive response. You kind of, when you're with someone who's really suffering, there's an urge to get in the pot and suffer with them. But if you do that, then I won't want to tell you I'm suffering because I know it'll make you suffer, and I don't want to do that. So getting in the pot and suffering with me is not a good idea. But compassion is a good idea. And that looks like, man, that sounds so rough. I'm so sorry you're going through that. What can I do to help? That's compassion. There are people, and I know this because I am one, who identify with being suicidal to the point that all of the time, on any given day, until I got clean, and that was only 3 years ago. So for 30 years, on any given day, if you had given me the option to stop existing without hurting anybody, I would have taken it in a heartbeat. And for me, that's my definition of low-grade suicidality. But I also had chronic invasive imagery, so out of nowhere, my brain does this lovely trick where it just serves up images of blowing my head off. Like, I'll be sitting at a peaceful dinner with my family and suddenly I'm blowing my head off. And when I get into stressful situations, it happens a lot. And then I also have this part of me that is like, don't hurt me, don't hurt me. So I'll be doing a JavaScript class. This happened, and that part just starts screaming, don't hurt me, don't hurt me, don't hurt me. It makes it very, very difficult to focus and function. So there's a gradient of suicidality. There's that acute point, and then there's thinking about it a lot and being drawn toward it. At that point, you still have a choice. When you're thinking about it a lot, then there are other things that you can choose to do to help derail those thoughts. And then there's the identifying with it, like just the poison in the groundwater. You know how the way the water table underlies cities, like cities are built on earth, and then underneath that is a water table, just like a lake underground. I used to think of it that the suicidality was in the water table underneath my life. And it was for many, many years. For me, when I stopped, so I was using drugs to make it so that I could get through every day. And I never stopped to see what life would be like without them. I just assumed, oh, well, I was high all day today and I didn't kill myself, so worked. Guess tomorrow I'll be high all day again. That was my evidence. It was pretty tight, except for that I was unwilling to experiment. And when I finally did stop, then I had the evidence. Wow, I wasn't high today, and it was fun playing with my kids. Holy shit, I didn't kill myself. And so then there was that kind of evidence. And that eventually, it took about 100 days before I realized that if I had the option to not exist, I wouldn't take it. Because here's the other thing. There are two types of reasons that prevent us from the act of suicide. One of those is aversive, meaning it would completely destroy my children and my husband and the friends who love me the most. It would absolutely detonate their lives if I killed myself. And it would put suicide on the table as a possible tool for my own children to use when they're in pain. So I would abandon my kids and I would put them in danger, and that's very aversive to me. So thinking through, playing the tape out to the end, thinking through to the repercussions of what I'm doing is a powerful strategy. The other kind of reason that prevents us from committing suicide is attractive. Aversive and attractive. The attractive one for me is what's going to happen in life. What's going to happen next? Like my kids, as they grow and they unfold, what choices are they going to make? Where are they going to go? What are they going to do? Their creativity seems boundless. What will their careers be like? Their relationships, their families. So we want to, when we're working with someone who's suicidal, or if you yourself are suicidal, draw from both of those possibilities. What is attractive about being alive? And that can be incredibly difficult to get connected with. I mean, it's new for me. And it was 3 years ago that I got clean. And it's still very new for me to be able to identify with things that are attractive about staying alive. Thanks for listening.